Hey everyone. After reading Arankumpoy, what I found most interesting was reading about long term activities and how it is important to incorporate them into your classroom. It was interesting to understand that young children might have trouble internalizing the idea of long term planning because they have not even lived a long life yet and don't fully understand the process of long term planning. I think long term planning is a good idea because it teaches children that you don't have to accomplish things in a short period of time, and it's okay that things can take a longer time to complete. Long term planning also teaches children that some things need more time to complete, like writing a book or planning out a project. Working on things for a longer period of time keeps children accountable and helps them to organize how and what needs to be done in a sequenced manner. I think teaching children long term planning is important because it will set them up for success in the future. Because as you move forward in your education, you will find that more activities and assignments to be long term. Children can also benefit from this in their home life as well. After reading chapter 5, something I found interesting to read about were the four underlying factors that makes the second language acquisition process. One factor I found interesting to read about was personality. I never took into consideration that personality would have an impact on how a child learns a second language. After reading that shy children could be more reserved to the fact of learning a new language never occurred to me but made sense. I know people who have gone through this growing up. Their primary language is English and their whole family speaks Spanish. But growing up, they always felt embarrassed or shy to speak Spanish, so they never learned the language fully, and now they understand the language but don't speak it. I think reading this section was important because when teaching children, we need to understand their personality traits to get a better understanding of how they learn and what might make them learn a little slower than others and be more reserved to certain things. After reading Scaffolding for Success, I learned a lot of great information about scaffolding and how to use it in the classroom. I found the GIST process to be interesting and something I could use in my own classroom. When working with language learners, finding different approaches to use with them is essential and can make the process easier and less stressful for the child and the teacher. So using strategies like GIST is great and helpful. This week's readings were interesting and I learned things I will use when becoming a teacher. Thanks. Have a great week.